So that should be fun. But, the main reason everything is going on this weekend is because of AEW's debut show, Double or Nothing. So right now, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 8 matches on the main card and 2 matches on the pre-show. So what we learned today is that this show will set up, by the end of this show, we will know who will be fighting for the AEW World Championship. We don't know when that match is going to take place, but we're going to know who's going to be in that match. It's going to be the winner of Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, which is the main event of Double or Nothing, taking on the winner of the Casino Battle Royale pre-show match. So, we'll see. Hopefully, they've got some big name surprises for this pre-show. I know everyone keeps saying, throw in CM Punk. It's logistically not. It can't happen. CM Punk is doing commentary on an MMA show the exact same time Double or Nothing is taking place. Like, the exact same time.
Yeah, I don't know about
and then
that.
they said John Moxley, Dean Ambrose, possible. He is filming a movie right now, but he can maybe get a day off. If they really want him that bad, Tony Khan can send him the private jet like he gave Jericho last year for All In.
Okay, so that's one thing I want to touch on is
what?
Do you see at all the possibility of Moxley being at AEW? Double or Nothing.
Oh, at Double or Nothing?
Yeah, whether in the Battle Royale. Just do you think he's going to somehow be involved this weekend?
I think there is a good chance it happens, but I'm not going to put money on it. Like if we were to go to Vegas and someone said, "Hey, place a bet on John Moxley showing up," I wouldn't put money on it, but I wouldn't say that it's not going to happen either. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's very possible, but I wouldn't say it's going to happen and then get people's hopes up.
Yeah. I don't know. Here's the thing. I won't be surprised if it does. Like, I'll be...
Right.
I can see that happening. But do you put him in that pre-show? What would you do with him in order to feel successful?
You put him in the Battle Royal and have him win the Battle Royal, and then he goes on to the first ever AEW World Championship match?
I guess. But then you're like... Is that the guy you want to push immediately?
I mean, you don't have to push him immediately. I mean, he doesn't have to win the title. You can have him come in as a heel and face Omega, and Omega be the first champion.
I guess so. I guess he doesn't need to win.
And here's the other thing with AEW. We don't know their heel-face dynamic. Like, how are they going to do that when their whole company is real sport, wins and losses matter. They're not going to be... They are going to, they have to rely on storylines as pro wrestling, but how heavy are they going to be on, well, big matches have to be a heel versus a babyface. Like WWE is very strict on for the most part.
Right.
Red Hood 205 says Joey Ryan versus Hangman. Pretty sure Joey Ryan's going to be in another state wrestling that same night. Like, it's not even possible.
I am a big Joey Ryan advocate, though.
Oh, I would not be surprised once they do sign him.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the card goes, we do have that Battle Royal, which we don't even know everybody in it, so I'm not going to try and predict.
Sean Spear.
You think?
He has to come in number 10, right?
Well, he has to.
Or it's a Battle Royal, so he's already in the ring.
No, it's a
Rumble.
It's a Rumble type of match. So here's how it works. So what they did is everyone draws a card. Whether you got diamonds, spades, hearts, or clubs, that's what group you're in. Whoever draws the Joker card gets to come in last by themselves. All the other groups of 5 will come in together. So whatever group starts, say the hearts are the first group up. So the 5 people will come into the ring. I think it's every 3 or every 5 minutes, the next group will come, whether that's clubs, diamond, whatever, until everybody's in, and then the final person, the 21st person, the Joker card person, comes in, and there you go.
So did they do the WWE thing where they spoiled who that's going to be?
The only person we know is Dillinger got the 10 card. because they've done little bits on being the elite, like with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're like, pick a card. This is your spot in the Battle Royal. Only show us. Like it was with the Bucks. They're like, only show us. Don't show the camera. So it's funny when Sean Spears shows the camera in his video. I think it was Matt Jackson goes, dude, you're not supposed to show the camera. You're only supposed to show us. He like tweeted that.
That's fucking funny.
Because they want it to be a surprise. So that's why we don't know who's going to get that Joker card. And I assume whoever that Joker is going to be somebody that's not already announced for the match. Because they want to make it probably the biggest surprise possible. And that match will be on the pre-show, which will be broadcast live on their YouTube channel, I think on Twitter, and maybe Facebook. But it's going to be free on social media and YouTube and stuff. I don't know if it's going to be free on the Bleacher Report app, but the main show is on the Bleacher Report app here in the States.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm excited.
So the other match on the pre-show will be Sammy Guevara versus Kip Sabian, which should be a pretty good match.
Yeah. I think Sammy Guevara is an alright wrestler. I enjoy him.
So going forward, as we move on to the main card, we do have a 6-woman tag team match. It's actually the second women's match of the night. It is all women from Japan. It's Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, and Emi Sakura taking on Hikaru Shida, Ryo Abe, and Ryo Mizunami. Now, before we
these are Joshi wrestlers, right?
Right. And now I want to say, before we go forward with our predictions, we don't know. Like with WWE, it's easy to predict because we know where storylines are going to be going or who they want to push and this and that. With AEW, we don't know any direction, so we're kind of predicting blind.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, this match, I would say Aja Kong's team wins just because she's the biggest name in the match.
Yeah, I was going to say that again.
So going forward, we do have the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, taking on Angelico and Jack Evans.
Best Friends.
Yeah, that's what I would say too.
Love the Best Friends. Think they're super great.
We then, going forward, have a 6-man tag team match. SoCal Uncensored, SCU, taking on Sema, T-Hawk, and El Lindaman from OWE. I can see them going with the OWE guys to put them over. Because you don't have to put over SCU. SCU or SCU. They're already fucking stars. So if you want to hype up your, partnership with the OWE, just have them beat SCU. It's not going to hurt SCU.
Oh, it won't at all. SCU, they'll put over whoever.
Yeah, they could take a loss. It's not going to hurt anybody. Especially, did you see their training video this past week?
Yes.
I mean, that's what they are. So they're not afraid to. They're not those guys that are like, oh no, can't lose.
Exactly.
Which, in talking about that, we'll talk more about the Pac thing when we get to it.
Yeah.
Because some more info came out about that, which I told you off the air. We then have the other women's match of the night. It will be Britt Baker taking on Nyla Rose, and also it's a triple threat match. We also have Kylie Ray.
Nyla Rose.
You think they put over Nyla?
Yeah.
As like the big dominant female?
Yeah.
I've seen people try to compare, like, they're like, oh, well, Kylie Ray's just their Bayley. Nyla Rose is just their Nia Jax. Britt Baker is their Charlotte Flair. Like, why would people even think that they needed to do that? You know?
Yeah. I mean, again, any heel is just another heel.
Well, it's like, why do you have to try and say, well, they only got these women because they wanted them to be what WWE's got, so they had to get their version of the WWE people, you know? It's just people trying to
make something.
Make them nothing. So going forward, we have the three main matches of the night. We've got Cody versus Dustin Rhodes, which is a very interesting one, and the one I may actually be the most interested in right now, because I have no clue which way this match can go.
I've got Cody going over
You think?
Dirty. I've got him going over Dirty.
So you think this is going to establish Cody as a heel?
Yes.
Because you got to think, with them keep saying, Dustin's last ride, his last ride. That's got to be some sort of a, not foreshadowing of this is his only match, but it's kind of like, oh, we're telling you it's his last ride because Cody wants to put him out to pasture, but he'll wrestle more for it. You know, it's not his last match.
I don't think they would do that.
Right.
Because if they were to do that, then I feel like AEW would be shooting it. If they're like, we want to give it the real fight, authentic feel, and then pull a WWE and like lie.
But with Cody saying, you know, because Cody's the one that brought up the first, it's going to be your last ride. I'm going to put you out. And the weird thing is, this isn't Cody versus his brother. Cody's building this as he finally wants to just end anything that had to do with the Attitude Era, which is weird to me that they even brought that up.
Yeah, that was also really weird.
Because, I mean, they're like, well, we're not trying to be WWE, yet Cody's whole thing is, I want to take out my brother because he's still the last guy still around active from the Attitude Era.
No, that would be, like wrestling-wise?
Yeah. I mean, who else is still active other than Triple H and
Dreamer?
Undertaker?
Dreamer?
But was he in WWE? He wasn't in WWE during the quote-unquote Attitude Era. He was after, once they acquired ECW and WCW.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, if you think of someone that was around through the
Cena.
entire Attitude Era, I mean,
Cena.
who was it? Triple H, The Undertaker, and Goldust. Well, Dustin.
Still going? Jericho?
You can say that, but he was in WCW for the Attitude Era, technically.
No, I think he came right in the middle of the Attitude Era.
Well, he came in 99, towards the end of
it. That's still Attitude Era.
Yeah, so Jericho counts too.
You got Jericho in there. God, I don't know.
I mean Undertaker, but he's like a once, twice a year guy. Doesn't count.
Brock?
No, Brock didn't come until 2002. Brock was Ruthless Aggression Era.
He wasn't he?
He was the same time when Cena and Orton started and Batista.
Shane
don't count. Why would somebody say Mick? Mick don't wrestle. Mick hasn't wrestled in years.
Jericho didn't debut till 01.
No, that is wrong. Jericho became Undisputed Champion in 01. Jericho came to WWE. If he was... not trying to shit on you, but how can they do the Y2J year 2000 countdown if he debuted in 2001? Think about that one, buddy. Anyways, so it's a weird dynamic where Cody's like, we're not trying to just be WWE, but his whole thing is, I want to end anybody's... What?
The Hardy Boys.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
The Hardy Boys.
But at the same time, I'm thinking back like...
Bubba Ray.
Yeah.
Rhino. Well, he's not wrestling anymore. All right, you guys did good. Good job, Kat. Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler. Yeah, Cody's gonna fight them.
It's just weird that his whole thing is I want to take out Dustin because he's the last big semblance of the Attitude Era. No, R-Truth doesn't really count for the Attitude Era.
No.
He came at like the very end as K-Quick and didn't last in WWE that long at all before he went to TNA and became the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Anyways, remember that, folks. There's your fun fact of the day. R-Truth is a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Now he's running around with a 24/7 title saying, the only people that really care about me is my wife, my kids, and Lil Jimmy.
That's what I'm saying. How long until Jimmy wins that fucking belt?
Oh, my God, yes.
How long until Little Jimmy?
How long until R-Truth is at a SmackDown and he's walking around going, Lil Jimmy, watch my back. I'm going to look this way. You look that way so no one can get me from behind. And all of a sudden he just trips. And he goes, Jimmy, what are you doing? 1, 2, 3. Little Jimmy, you're the champion.
Why is he so southern to you?
I don't know.
Why is R-Truth
I don't know.
a southern man who has a dog named Jimmy? And he's like, oh, what you doing there?
No, he has an invisible little boy named Jimmy.
Don't say that. Don't say R-Truth has an invisible little boy. I don't.
It's true.
Tim, I'm too high for that.
My bad, Big Kahuna. He's the European champion.
Yeah, he's the 24/7 European champion.
So going forward,
goddamn,
with the AAA Tag Team Championships on the line, the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. I think the Young Bucks win because they've already announced that this match is going to happen again in AAA at their summer show, their big SummerSlam type show with titles on the line. So why not have the Young Bucks go over on their show, beat the Lucha Bros, then the Lucha Bros can just beat them in AAA a couple months later.
That'd be cool. I'd like that. Yeah, I got the Bucks in that.
Finally, what? Go for it.
I just like the idea of R-Truth also like going to a school and like Nicholas pins him in class.
Why would he go to a school for?
I don't got it because he's taking little Jimmy to school.
Little Jimmy don't go to school. We've learned this.
Oh my god.
All
right, we need to talk about AEW.
We've got our main event, final match of the night. It is going on last. It's Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. It is basically a AEW World Championship #1 contender match. I don't know where to go. I assume you go Omega.
Who took the first fall at New Japan?
Omega. He retained the championship.
And then who picked up the second?
This is the second.
I thought they fought one more time.
No. Jericho fought Omega. He then fought Naito. He then fought Evil. And then he fought Naito again and lost the title.
Yeah.
Jericho, I say Jericho loses here, and then he's going to lose at Dominion to Okada with the damn IWGP Heavyweight title on the line.
Nah, he's not going to keep losing.
He ain't winning the... You think he wins the New Japan belt?
Nah, he's going to win that AEW belt, man.
Do you think he beats Omega Sunday or Saturday?
Yeah, you'd think he beats Omega.
Well, we're opposite there. I'm going Kenny.
See, I like the idea of him beating Omega because, like, I feel like Jericho as your first champion is a little bit better than Kenny.
True, and I get your point because probably more people would expect Omega to win. So,
yeah.
Regardless, I think they're going to have a good match. I know the first match was a no DQ, false count anywhere, hardcore style match. I don't know if this match is. Haven't heard anything on any. We haven't heard of any stipulations like that on any matches. They're just basically straight up matches, except for the gimmicks in the Battle Royale. You know, the whole how you could do that, but we'll see. Now the big controversy of the week is with Pac and Hangman Page.
Yeah.
So initially, Dave Meltzer reported over the weekend that Pac is out because of creative differences. So the first thing that many people assumed was, all right, he didn't want to lose to Hangman. Well, Meltzer, he got more information on this, which I think he's known all along. He just tries to make it seem like he doesn't. He stated that it wasn't an issue of Pac not wanting to lose to Hangman because initially he was going to beat Hangman. It's what he won't do down the line. As long as he is the Dragon Gate champion, which is the world champion of Dragon Gate, he doesn't want to lose. He hasn't done it at all since winning that title. He's won every match he's had in the UK, except he went a 30-minute time limit draw with Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. And he did the whole DQ thing this past weekend with Adam Page. If you haven't seen the match, you can go to the AEW YouTube account now and watch the 15-minute match. Really, really good match until he kicks the ref in the balls, causing the DQ. And so the thing is, what Meltzer said was, it's not that he didn't want to lose to Hangman because he was apparently going to win that match at Double or Nothing. It's that he didn't want to lose going down the line, and they wanted him to lose to Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, as long as I'm this champion, I'm not losing. My stance is, if I'm a world champion for somebody, I'm not losing. And that's a big issue that AEW is going to need to address as far as having guys that also work with other companies. And you can have, like, say someone works for an MLW, for instance. I don't know if they would do this, but it's just an example. And they're signed to MLW before working with All Elite Wrestling. And so they've got a match coming up, and like, we want him to lose. And MLW goes, no, we're ready to push him in MLW. We don't want him losing on TV. So they're going to have to figure out getting guys exclusive to AEW, not letting them work other companies where that could happen again. You know what I mean? Like, this is a learning experience, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently the last thing I heard was that they are now got lawyers mediating, saying that, no, you've signed to do this match. We're doing it this way. You need to come do it. I have also heard that there may be some sort of a visa issue, and that's the real reason that Pac can't do the match.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple contradicting stories going all around right now. Either he just doesn't want to do it, they don't want to do it because it doesn't help going forward storylines. They want him to, there's a lot of things, and then the visa issue, which kind of may make sense because he was also scheduled for StarCast, and now he's not doing StarCast. Like, just because he's not working Double or Nothing, why can't he still appear at StarCast?
Yeah.
So I think the visa issue could be a thing. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. It's just something I heard today. But that's the thing going on with Pac. We don't know what's going to happen to Hangman, whether Hangman jumps into the Battle Royal, whether Hangman gets another opponent, or whether Hangman doesn't wrestle at all. I would assume, after all these hashtag full gear ready skits on being the Elite, they've got to have him wrestle at least in that Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
So we'll see how it all goes. But that is the card, and our kind of, I guess you could say, as good as we can predict predictions for AEW's first event, Double or Nothing.
Hell yeah.
Again, Nick and I will be in town. We'll get there sometime tomorrow night, possibly this time tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are going to be there, hit us up on social media. Let us know where you're at if you guys want to meet up and say, hey, how's it going? We can finally meet you face to face. Maybe you can appear in our vlog or one of the vlogs we post.